Chilled to the bone. I've got 3 layers on. I put my bee jacket on just to try to warm up a little bit. It's 1 degree and they're talking about flurries later on today. So we're around putting pails on still. Should be able to finish up today if we don't get stopped by rain. Work. I just want to show you just a peek into a few of these hives. I get a lot of comment about how much fuss I put towards my beehives, and I do fuss a lot, but I want to show you what the result of that is. Here we're just going around. I'm pulling out these plugs so then we can put pails on top. Carrie is over filling pails. But these hives are looking pretty good. Decent shape. I'll just pull back a few random covers. These are boxes of bees. These guys are ready for winter. Nicely fed up. Beautiful. It's starting to rain now. Hopefully it stays as rain and not snow. I haven't tipped any colonies back. I'm lazy, but I don't have to because these guys look fantastic. So we're just going to get a little more feed on them. Hopefully get the last of the feed on before the weekend. And then do a quick scale after that for next week to see where we're at. And I'm thinking they'll be pretty close to being up to winter weight. If not, we might make another round with some open feed just to top them up. But things are slowing down. We are coming into the end. Spending a whole whack of money on them this fall. But looking at hives like that reassures me that it's going to be money well spent. I just want to show you another reason why I want to promote a little bit of propolis within my hives. As you can probably hear, and as you can see, it is cold as heck today. This yard is pretty well protected. It's in a good spot, except the wind's catching it in the wrong direction today. And a cold windy wind like this, and these hives don't know any different. Because you can see the entrances are all propolized. They've sealed all the cracks so they don't get any draft. And this is another reason why I use these foam covers. Everybody's asking why I'm using these, I call them foamies. Well, they're just bubble wrap insulation. So, you know, it retains a little bit of heat, but that's not the point. It's more so to seal the cracks, seal the edges from these brutal drafts that come with these windy, cold days. As you can see, the bees, well, this rim, for one thing, it holds down the foamy along the edges, so it makes a good seal, but the bees will propolize all the edges together, as you can hear. That's propolis holding that down, and they've completely sealed the tops off. So that keeps the drafts from entering these colonies and blowing on the clusters. So those damp cracks which interfere with the clustering of the bees, and these bees inside, so you can see, they don't know any different of the cold, miserable day outside because they are actively clustering in a nice, warm, cozy, well-fed little box. So that's just another strategy I use to help keep these hives content and to, you know, decrease their stress a little bit as we shift seasons. Just little things like this make all the difference sometimes. As beekeepers, it's our job to prepare these hives for the absolute worst they can experience. I mean, we got to be prepared for that uncertain circumstance that comes upon us, and we got to enable these hives to be able to withstand it. And just by doing little things like putting a foam cover on, it's a bit of a pain in the ass all year, but through certain times of year, it's essential for keeping these colonies, to keeping the stress down on these colonies. These pails that I'm giving them here, like, these guys are pretty much fed up. They're nicely fed up, but I always like to give them just a little bit more. We need to give them a little bit more just to make sure they can get through that unusually long, cold winter. Kind of like last spring, I wasn't concerned at all about the amount of feed I had in the hives because I knew I had enough feed on these guys. So these guys are going to drink down another pail, maybe give them a little bit more just to top them up. Everybody's always asking me, how heavy do you feed up your hives for winter? And you guys got to realize this is really specific to the region that you keep bees. I kind of calculate 10 pounds of resource consumed per month while they're in confinement, and that's about average or so. So I'm looking at about 50 or so, 55 pounds of you know, sugar and honey consumed through the winter. I feed my guys up to about 85, 95 pounds. This will probably top these guys up over 95 pounds, and that gives them lots. You have to realize my conditions. My bees are going broodless right now. There is no brood being laid or established, especially this time of year. The hives are drifting into winter. So we take advantage of that up here in the north to backfill that empty space and make use of all that space. They'll consume November, December, January, February. They'll consume a good portion within the center of that nest, and if they want to start brood rearing, then they got lots of ample space there to do it. So it's just a strategy we employ up here in the north, just making better use of our resources. Now you guys that are down south and you're going to have active brood all through the year, and you need those hives to brood to keep that population maintained, you got to make sure that maybe that's a little bit too heavy for you. It won't leave you with enough space. So I heavily stress that you guys manage to your conditions, and to see what I'm doing here, and maybe you know, use that as perspective just to help make your decisions in what you're doing and what your final objective is. Just know what's going on in those hives and then act accordingly.